Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. I thought it was important this afternoon to provide an update to the public, particularly based on the announcement made by the members of the Bermuda Trade Union Congress late last night. But first, I think it's important to clarify some of the media reports emanating from last night. I want to stress very clearly, as it relates to Mr. Ferbert's comments, that I was invited to last night's press conference. The public should know that I never received an invitation to attend a press briefing, which, in our opinion, was premature. I think it is also critical to note that throughout yesterday's proceedings, throughout the disagreements and the impasse, great strides were made by government to ensure that we made progress in getting both parties back to the negotiating table. And I want to take this opportunity to commend the efforts of everyone involved in reaching a very significant goal. Last evening, when I joined members of the Bermuda Trade Union Congress on the Cabinet steps to announce that the government and the union had agreed to meet to consider additional cost reductions, which included a number of options identified by Cabinet, I also made the very critical point that the government and the BTUC agreed that continuing the furlough day would be considered as a last resort. Last night's discussions were at an incredibly delicate stage, and it was government's view that any cost reduction considerations be reviewed and vetted by the Cabinet before any public announcement was shared. I think it is very, very important that I stress that the required reductions in expenditure have not been fully reached, contrary to the BTUC's declaration last night. The Ministry of Finance and the Cabinet Office are verifying the numbers as we speak, but early indications are that the spending targets of the government have not been fully achieved at this point in time. Thus, we must continue to consider all options. And if the unions cannot agree to furlough, and let me be very clear, the furlough cannot be implemented without the agreement of the unions, then the government would need to consider reductions in service levels or programs. That said, it is government's intent to now move forward with producing a national budget for 2015-2016. In closing my comments, the decisions that government will make affect all sectors of our community, but the government's fiscal and economic challenges require that very tough and painfully difficult decisions have to be made to get us where we need to go. As I have noted, we must continue to build confidence in Bermuda so that we can continue to grow and prosper and turn around the tides of our economy.